Here's why you shouldn't move to Atlanta until 2026. First off, at the time of filming this video, we are in like the fall of 2025. And so this is when you really have the least amount of home options, because this is when the school year has already started. And so sellers know that there are not a lot of buyers in the market right now because the school year has started. And so because of that, many sellers do not list their home during the fall. Come the spring of 2026, there's going to be a lot more homes for sale, which means a lot more inventory, a lot more options. And this is obviously going to be a lot better for finding that perfect home. You do tend to have less competition among buyers during the fall and winter, but that also means you don't have as many options for homes. And so it's kind of a trade-off. We could see that there's more buyer competition in the spring, but there will be a lot more homes for sale. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor with Atlanta Suburban Living. We put out videos every week about what it's like to live in Atlanta and the suburbs of Atlanta. Another reason why you might want to wait to buy a home is that interest rates are kind of dropping little by little for the last few months. Interest rates have come down by about 0.25% right now. At the time of filming this video, we're in the low sixes. It's very possible that come 2026, we could be in the high fives, maybe even lower sixes. And so certainly this is a big benefit if you are using a mortgage to buy a home. That interest rate, even a small difference, can make a big impact on your monthly mortgage payment. And so waiting for these interest rates to come down a bit could be beneficial. Another reason why you might want to wait is that I have found that like the best time for buying a home here in Metro Atlanta is like January, February, around that time. This is when you still have not a lot of buyer competition, but many sellers who have been waiting for the new year have started to list their home. And so you have a lot of options during the January, February time of year, but you still don't have the influx of buyers. And so the reason for this is because, again, during the school year, you don't have a lot of buyers. And because school is still going on in January and February, you still are not competing with the majority of the buyers. That big rush of buyers tends to come around maybe like end of March or end of April, because the school year here in Georgia ends very early, like the beginning of May. And so that rush of buyers tends to come around March or April, but February-ish, you don't really have a lot of buyer competition. But what you do have is all of these sellers who have been waiting during the holidays. They obviously don't want to list in like November, December, around Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So they wait for the new year. So come January and February, in my opinion, is the sweet spot. You have not a lot of buyer competition and you have a lot of home options. Another reason why you might want to wait to move to Atlanta is because of the amount of new construction homes that are being built here. If you have any questions about buying a home here in Atlanta, or you are considering making the move, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. I'm a local realtor here in the Atlanta area. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm always happy to help, but we are really seeing a lot of new construction homes being built here in the Metro Atlanta area. These new construction home building community companies, is that even a word? I just made like a super long word. These companies know that there is a shortage of homes for sale, especially new construction homes. This is not, something that we see a lot of here in Atlanta. And so we're seeing a lot of these companies starting to build new construction homes. And the longer you wait, obviously, the more options you're going to have. They do kind of come to a bit of a pause or a slowdown during the holidays because they know that there are not a lot of buyers during the holidays. So come January, February, even the new construction companies ramp back up with building new homes. And so this new construction here in Metro Atlanta is a big reason why you might want to wait. Another reason why you might want to wait is the amount of infrastructure projects that we've got going on here in Metro Atlanta. We have had a big influx of people and big growth in population here in the Metro Atlanta area in the last few years. And so Atlanta is finally realizing that they need to improve some of the infrastructure. And so they're doing a lot of construction on the roads, bridges being repaired, roads being widened. The roads are getting bigger, and so there's a lot more space for the cars. And so finally, Atlanta is improving the infrastructure. And so if you wait just a few more months or half a year or whatever, it's going to be a lot easier, I think, come 2026. Another big one is improvements to MARTA, the public transportation, and also the Beltline. The Beltline is like the walking trail that goes around the city of Atlanta. This connects a lot of the neighborhoods to the grocery stores or to the schools or to other neighbors, and it's all a walking path. And so as we get closer to 2026, a lot of the segments or a lot of the portions of the Beltline are going to be finished in 2026. Oh, another big one is definitely the amount of companies that are relocating here to Atlanta. As we are having an influx of population, of residents, we're also having an influx of big companies, especially big corporations who are leaving the West Coast and coming to the East Coast for the, not necessarily the lower cost of living, but the lower cost of doing business, maybe tax benefits here in Georgia. And so we have a lot of these employers who are coming here to Georgia. This obviously means more jobs, more employment opportunities. We have Mercedes-Benz, who is opening a facility in Sandy Springs in August of 2026. We also have Rivian, who is coming here to around the Beltline, actually late 2025. Early 2026. We have a company called Flatiron Dragados that I just looked up. They are coming to the perimeter in Brookhaven in 2026 summertime. And then we also have Blaze Pizza coming from Pasadena to Atlanta. JB Weld is leaving Cobb County and moving to Sandy Springs. Duracell, the battery company, is also moving here to Atlanta in 2026. And Ernst & Young is actually leaving downtown and moving to Midtown. And so lots of employee shakeup going on here. And in 2026, we're obviously going to see a lot more job opportunities. Some of the reasons why you might want to wait really have to do with your specific situation. Instead of it just being about Atlanta, while that's certainly a big factor, what we got going on here, some of it kind of has to do with your specific situation. So like saving up for a down payment is going to be super beneficial to wait a little bit. If that's something that you need to do, keep in mind that a typical down payment here in Metro Atlanta is about 3 to 5%. You certainly can put down even more. 20% is totally doable. Also, you've got closing costs. Remember that a seller has their closing costs, but a buyer also has their own closing costs. And so while we are seeing some sellers pay for buyers' closing costs, you don't want to assume that that's going to be the case. So saving up for that, I would typically say about 2 to 3% of the purchase price of the home is what you should save up for closing costs. So for a $500,000 home, $15,000 just for closing costs is I think a pretty good estimate. And then you've got another $15,000 for the down payment. So saving up this down payment and closing costs is certainly going to be super helpful and a reason why you might want to wait. Another one that I see in many people is they want to wait for the school year to end. If they're coming here from another state or even another city, you don't want to necessarily pull your kids out of school, so you wait for the school year to end and make that move during the summertime. One of the biggest helps for being able to really understand what it's like living here in Atlanta is coming to visit. And so this might be a reason why you might want to wait. If you can take some time to come here to the Metro Atlanta area to visit and like really walk the streets and get to like shoulder to shoulder with people, maybe not shoulder to shoulder. No need for that, but you can like actually walk in the downtown areas and see what the people are like and what the area is like. This is a great way to really get a feel for the area. Now, if you are coming from another state, that can be kind of difficult. So I went on a walking tour of Marietta downtown to give you a feel for what it's like in that area. You can check out that video right here. I'll see you in the next one.